Hello, I'm Ollie. This is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, a bit of a mishmash, so it's my weekly reading update and also a bit of a channel update. So I'll start with the channel stuff. So I posted a video just before the new year, saying I was coming up to 500 subscribers and I will be doing a giveaway when I got to 500 subs. I've now reached and gone a bit past that target. The only reason I haven't put the giveaway up yet is I'm waiting for YouTube to give me the community tab so I can publicise it a bit more in that. I have chosen the books. It's these 4 books. So these are the 4 books that the winner of the giveaway will receive. There is here 1 crime, 1 pulp, 1 horror and 1 that kind of thing, i.e. a book that's neither crime, pulp nor horror. I'm deliberately not showing you exactly what the books are, but I have, over the last week or so, posted clues to what the books are in my videos. So in a number of videos I've posted, you can see what the books are if you are paying attention and looking closely. So we'll see if anyone figures out what they are. So that was the first channel update. The second thing is, again with regard to the 500 subs thing, it seems a bit of a tradition on YouTube for people to do Q&As when they get to 500. Now, I don't know if anyone would have any questions they'd want to ask me, so I thought I would ask that in this video. If people think I should do a Q&A, then please say in the comments and I will happily do one, but I don't want to do one and then find I don't get any questions, because that would just be a bit embarrassing really, wouldn't it? And then the other channel-y type thing I wanted to mention was, I've been uploading a lot recently. So I've uploaded over the last 2 or 3 weeks. I think I've put a video up every day, apart from Christmas Day, which has been really fun. I've really enjoyed making them, and it looks like people have enjoyed watching them as well. So hopefully you have. But I can't sustain that level of output indefinitely. So from this video onwards, I'm going to go back to a 3 times a week schedule. So I'll do either, I'm intending to do a review every Tuesday, either a review or a tag video or something else every Thursday, and then a wrap up every Saturday. So that will be, my fixed schedule. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I'll upload at 5 PM UK time, which is I think 12 noon Eastern time or 9 AM Pacific time if you're in the States. So yeah, that will be my schedule. If I have other stuff I want to talk about, that I have a burning desire to talk to you all about, to converse about, then I may well put up additional videos as well. But I will definitely, hand on heart, I'm going to really try to stick to those 3 slots and always have something in those 3 slots for you. But yeah, if there's anything in particular you'd like me to talk about, do shout in the comments. I do this channel because I love talking about books, but also for the people who watch it. So if there's something in particular you'd like me to cover, do let me know. So yeah, that was the channel update. Further thing to remind people of is that Leviathan Libraries, the website that I'm a contributor to, is now live. So I'll put a link to that in the description for the video, but do check it out. We've got tons of great reviews on there for books, movies, video games across a wide range of genres. So lots to read and enjoy there. So please do take a look. So on to the reading update. So what day is it today? The 8th of January. So this is my update for the first week of the year. So 3 books read, so I've just finished the 3rd book. So those books in order were The Book of Sand by Theo, Clare, which I won't talk about in depth here because I've done a video review for that, and I'll put a link to that up there or there. I can never remember which way around it is. But it was fantastic. So it's very briefly, it's a kind of sci-fi fantasy about some people who are trapped on this strange desert world who are, having to do these various tasks in order to try and escape, but really gripping, really inventive stuff. So as I say, I'll put a link to my video review of that if you haven't read it, but I definitely recommend it. That came out this week, so it came out on the 6th. After that, I read Project Hail Mary. Oh, and I should say that aside from doing the 100 book challenge, I'm also doing at the moment what I'm calling the countdown challenge, where I read a book from each year going backwards through time. So The Book of Sand, given that it comes out 2022, is my 2022 book for that challenge. Straight after that, I read my 2021 book, which was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. So I've read The Martian, which I enjoyed a few years ago. I haven't yet read his second book, Artemis, but I do have it on my Kindle. But yeah, I really enjoyed Project Hail Mary. It's a bit, I'm not convinced his prose is that great. There's a bit where, there are times when his prose feels a bit clumsy. And the other thing it suffers from is that the narrator, protagonist, is basically exactly the same character as Mark Watney from The Martian. That kind of geeky, funny, quite cool sci-fi scientist kind of character. But the book was still really enjoyable. It's a bit more ambitious than The Martian. So it's about a guy who's basically on a mission to save the planet, and I won't go into any more detail than that because it starts very mysteriously, the book, and you gradually learn more and more about what's going on as it progresses. But yeah, really enjoyable read. Really fun kind of pop science side to it as well as you'd expect. So you feel a bit like you're learning when you're reading it. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got a great kind of central relationship to it as well, which is really sweet and enjoyable. So yeah, exciting, fun, informative, and quite moving at times too. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend that if you haven't read it. And then the book I've just finished was from the 1950s, The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith, which I read for AJ Dunn Reads and Writes' Killer Reads book club. So this is the first month of that. So this is the Killer Reads Club is the 100 best thrillers as voted for by Penguin readers, I think. And this was brilliant. So I've read a couple of Highsmith books before. So I've read, there's one I can never remember the name of, which in some ways was quite similar to The Talented Mr. Ripley, actually, in that it's set in Europe, about an American in Europe and a murder and a mystery and things like that. So yeah, so read that one and also read Strangers on the Train, which is also brilliant. But yeah, The Talented Mr. Ripley is really good. So about this young guy who travels, who's kind of down on his luck and a bit of a con man, who gets asked by the wealthy father of another young American who's living in Italy, who's kind of, basically his parents want him to come back from Italy and this guy's resisting that. So the father pays for Tom Ripley, the central character, pays for his travel to go over to Italy to try and convince this guy to come back. And it's about what happens after that. And it's just fantastically twisting plot. Tom Ripley, the central character, is a really brilliant central character. So very self-deluded, but a fascinating character to read. So yeah, justifiably a classic. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think there's another 4 books in the Ripley series, which Highsmith wrote over several decades after this first one. I think the last one was published in the early 90s or late 80s. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read those at some point. I've got them all on my Kindle because I bought, there was a Kindle deal a while ago where they had the whole series. So yeah, very good, highly recommended. And if you've not checked out AJ Dunn's Killer Reads book club, then go to his channel and check that out. I'll put a link to his channel in the description for the video. So that's the 3 books I've read so far this month or this year. Next up is this one, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong, which I'm reading for my book club that I'm part of. So this is like an offline, in real life book club, albeit we don't actually meet each other because we all live in different places. But yeah, it's done via WhatsApp rather than the true internet. So yeah, this looks quite interesting. Not the sort of thing I'd normally read, but apparently it's very, very well written, very well thought of. Sounds like it's, you know, interesting and moving. So if you've read it, do let me know in the comments what you thought of it. And equally, if you've read any of the other books I've talked about, let me know. I'm hoping I'll finish this weekend because it's not very thick. I haven't started it yet, but I've got Monday off work as well, so I reckon I'll get through this weekend. And then after that, having read, well, there will be four non-pulp books in a row. I'm definitely going to be reading some pulp. So I've got, you know, in my read-throughs of the various pulp series I'm reading, I've got the next Executioner book to read, the next Gore book to read, the next Survivalist book to read, and the next Edge book to read. So I will definitely be reading one of those after this one. Just a bit of a palate cleanser before I then pick up something more serious. I'm not sure what I'm going to read after that. I've got a few things that I talked about in my January TBR, but equally I've got room in my in the month to pick up some additional things. So I might just pluck something off the shelf behind me or off my Kindle. I filmed yesterday another What's Lurking on my Kindle video, and there were some things I'd completely forgotten I had, which looked quite interesting. So I might even read one of those. So that's this week's wrap up. As always, you know, shout if you read any of the books that I talked about. Hope you are all safe and well, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.